So let's talk about memory. Not the nice little scrapbook version of memory, but memory as a weapon, as a battlefield. You've been programmed to trust whatever pops up in your head, whatever resonance washes over you, as if this is the voice of truth, unquestionably. But here's the thing, MKUltra programming entire lifetimes of false memories could be and have been seeded. Trauma, hypnosis, chemicals, suggestion, these were not experiments in the abstract. They were deliberate projects to fragment the mind and plant cover stories. And that cover story sometimes looked like an alien abduction. Sometimes it looked like a spiritual download. Sometimes it looked like a galactic family. Sometimes it looked like Saint Germain himself showing up in your living room, all radiant and benevolent, when in fact it was a projection, a broadcast, a synthetic overlay. Look at the world that we live in, how we're constantly bombarded by frequencies that are man made, by signals, by chemicals, by toxic substances, pharmaceutical cocktails that clog and calcify the pineal gland. And not just pharmaceuticals, but also chemicals in food and water. Fluoride is in many water supplies that are sourced. I'm not even going to go into that right now, but serve to say that the very antenna that you rely on to tune into source is the pineal gland. And if you have not intentionally detoxified yourself from whatever exposures you've had through your lifetime, then guaranteed your pineal gland does contain clogs and distortions. If you've been on sleeping pills, antidepressants, anti-anxiety meds, any of these things, and eaten a diet of artificial foods full of chemicals for any length of time at all, without detoxing actively, then you're not receiving a pure signal, period. The body is the instrument. And if the instrument is foggy, is out of tune, carries distortions, then what comes through will be distorted as well. So if a being of light whispers in your ear, or a memory suddenly surfaces of some cosmic mission, how do you know? Is this real? Or is it an engineered script sliding perfectly into the gaps that our program world, through media, through television, through hypnotic suggestion, through continuing education put out by a Tavistock that municipal, state, and federal employees are required to watch videos of every year? Not necessarily real, okay? And these engineered scripts slide right in to all of the gaps that MKUltra and its descendant and network of programmings all designed. And this is why I always say, do not look without, look within. Don't chase a story, don't listen to the whispers, and don't trust blindly in any rush of resonance. First thing you got to do is clean your house, which is your body, mind, and spirit. Because only when you are the purest vessel possible can you actually discern which is truth. Discernment is not about whether the message feels good or feels familiar, because remember that trauma feels familiar, and that creates resonance, which is A huge reason why so many people continue to return to those same situations that feel familiar. Your body ring like a tuning fork? Do you feel alignment in every layer of your being? Do you feel not only the lighter feelings in your upper chakras along with the warm balancing in your lower chakras? Can your inner temple hold its own against bombardment, against signal and frequency and sound that is being subliminally broadcast that our ears are not consciously picking out, but which our subconscious is very definitely receiving the message loud and clear? We live in an age of massive psyops and very deep programming. Just walk outside and all of the chemicals that have infused our atmosphere from the spraying amplify the artificial signals that are being put out by towers, Gwen, as well as 5G, and also riding in on the electrical grid. You can't just ride resonance like it's a carnival ride and think that you're safe. You have to purify. You have to detox. You have to restore your antenna to true north. And so this is my challenge to you. Before you chase another teacher, another ET lineage, another ascended master transmission, do the inner work. Look and actually reflect on all of the places where you have picked up distortion through food, through habits. Consumption is a huge one. Clear your space, purify your vessel, detox and remove parasites, because parasites also broadcast consciousness that we mistake as our own. And stop outsourcing your sovereignty to the next signal that happens to hit your brainstem. Because when you're clear and when your pineal broadcasts pure light, when your DNA is vibrating in its true organic resonance without blockages and distortions in the way, you won't need to wonder if it's real. You'll know. This is the work, and this is the way to find the true path. And everything else is just an overlay.